Hey guys, it's Elliot from Elliott School of Music, your home for everything for the beginning musician. We've got lessons, tutorials, and everything in between. If you haven't already done so, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified on future videos just like this one. Today we're continuing our beginner piano series, and we're talking all about one of the most famous chord progressions in all of music history, Pachelbel's canon. If you haven't already checked out the first videos in the series, you can do that right here. And if you have, you're in luck, because we're starting right now. Alright, this is going to be a really fun lesson. Today, all we're talking about is one of the most famous chord progressions ever made, and that is Pachelbel's canon. Usually it's played in D. Today we're going to play it in C because it's going to make it a lot more simple. So our chord progression, I'm going to put at the top of the screen. It's C, C, down to G, up to A, down to E, up to F, down to C, up to F, up to G. And then we go back up to the C where you started. Again, we'll run through it. C, down to G, up to A, down to E, up to F, down to C, up to F, up to G. The first thing we're going to do with that chord progression is play it really simply with arpeggios in both hands. So an arpeggio in the left, starting on C, an arpeggio with the right with C. Starting on C, down to G, up to A, down to E, up to F, down to C, back up to F, up to G. Let's try it again. I'm going to play it a little bit slower, starting on C. Down to G, up to A, down to E, up to F, down to C, back up to F, up to G. Let's try it a little bit quicker. C, G, A, E, F, C, F, G. Now, there's so many different ways that we can play that chord progression and still keep it interesting. Let's go back to what we did last lesson where we played just root notes in the left hand, and we're going to still keep the right hand the same with an arpeggio. So starting on C, so we're going to hold that root note in the left hand for all 4 beats of the measure. That's a whole note. So we're going to play C in the left hand, and it's going to last all the way through the end of the right hand arpeggio before we change chords. So starting with C again, down to G, up to A, down to E, up to F, down to C, back up to F, and up to G. Again, back to C where you started, down to G, up to A, down to E, up to F, down to C, up to F again, and up to G to finish. All right, now we're going to do it completely differently. We're going to keep the same chord progression, but we're going to change the pattern. So we're going to put an arpeggio in the left hand and a chord in the right hand. So on C, this is what our pattern would sound like. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's run through the chord progression. Starting with C, down to G, up to A, down to E, up to F, down to C, up to F again, up to G. One more time from C, down to G, up to A, down to E, up to F, down to C, back up to F, up to G, and then finish it with, oops, a nice little C. All right, the last of our Pachelbel canon patterns is going to be a little bit different, but fairly similar to some of the ones we've done before. So we're going to play a chord in the left hand and arpeggio in the right hand. But for this particular pattern, we want this chord in the left hand to last for all 4 beats. So we're going to start with the chord, and on beats 2, 3, and 4, we're adding the arpeggio with the right hand. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And this chord lasts for all 4 of those beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, down to G, up to A, down to E, up to F, down to C, up to F again, up to G, C where we started, G, A, E, F, C, F, G. One more time. And end it with a C. And just like that, you're playing one of the most influential chord progressions in all of music history. This is something really cool you can show friends, family, break out at a party, whatever you want to do. But be sure to keep practicing. And look, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and click that bell icon so you can get notifications on future videos just like this one and future videos in this series. And don't forget too, we're going to be doing videos on drums, guitar, trumpet, saxophone, voice, just about anything you can think of. So remember to come back, check out what the channel has to offer, and thanks so much for watching.